Hello, welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. Today I am going to be building a werewolf house. I haven't done one before. The reason I actually got the idea was, well, the new castle kit had just come out, and I couldn't think of anything to build with it apart from a castle. I wanted to actually build a fairy castle because that just sounds amazing and magical, but it took me so long to try and figure out any type of design that I gave up and thought, what's the next best thing? Werewolves. So I've never built a werewolf house before. I decided to go in with everything that came with the werewolf kit, obviously, and some additionals because I never stick to 1 to 2 packs. I use as many as I have because that's what they're there for. So I'm going in, I went in with that werewolf brick on the exterior, and then I used a wood sort of paneling from the horse ranch kit that looked a bit, I imagine it's for barns, to be used for barn builds, but I went in and used it because it was a bit scratched up and I thought, that's quite fitting. I'm just going in and altering the roof. I believe it's Shift C that you need to press to get more sort of places to pull and push and mould the roof to how you want it to be. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to make it a bit rounded with some pointy bits on it. I don't know how to describe it. I do actually change this completely because the roofing just was not making sense. I tried to make it work, but it just didn't work. So I went in and ended up doing it this way, which made so much more sense. I don't know why I didn't do that to begin with. So I'm just going in and rounding the roofs and making them look quite nice. As nice as can be. I was originally going to go in with that mossy brick tile sort of roof, but then going through the corrugated iron roofs, I just thought that brown one that was a bit dirty looked quite werewolfy. Funnily enough, it is from the werewolf pack, so that's probably why. But I went in with it because I thought it matched the build better than the mossy tiles. So just going through and adding in the windows, I nearly said walls, the windows from the werewolf pack. I love that the bricks on those windows match the exterior brickwork. It's so nice to have swatches in The Sims that actually match, so I was taking full advantage of that. Going around the outside and just adding in the rest of the windows, I do go with this like bar style, almost. It reminds me like a jail cell, so I don't really know why I went with that, but I do actually end up getting rid of those on that side, on the blue side, because they just weren't working for the layout. I went in and added those stairs that are from the werewolf pack. They're kind of like an old factory style staircase, which I thought was really perfect. That's kind of what I've gone for. I've gone for like an old factory or warehouse that's been abandoned and the werewolves now live there. So I have decided to make it a 2-bed, 1-bathroom house for a little werewolf family. So I'm just gonna go in and start with the kitchen. I chose these cabinets. I couldn't really find cabinets that looked werewolfy or run down enough. Like, I'm surprised the werewolf kit didn't come with any cabinets because the vampire kit did, and they fit that style perfectly. So that's a bit frustrating, but I went in with these ones from the horse ranch because I think although they are really nice cabinets, they've got that timber effect, the wood tones. I just think it looks a little bit more rustic and industrial, which I kind of wanted to go for with the corrugated iron and the factory staircase and the brickwork. I went with a bit of an industrial style, which I actually really like. So annoyingly, I go in with this city living fridge, like the used one it's a bit busted up, but they don't have a matching cooker, so I had to go for a nice looking cooker, which is fine. These werewolves, maybe they have some, they're not animals, they live in filth, so maybe it's just the fridge that's a bit run down. So going in and decorating the kitchen, I put in a little, oh my god, what's it called? A mortar and pestle, or a pestle and mortar. Mortal? That's not right. But I went in with one of those things, and I'm using the trick with that shelf from the buildy kit, which I can't remember the name of, sizing things down, placing it on the shelf at the same level of the height I want to move the item to, if that makes any sense at all, just so we don't have floating pots on top of the fridge, because I think that makes it look a bit more realistic when things aren't floating around in the air. Oh, had a problem with the zoom in there. Added that little blind in the kitchen, which actually does get deleted, because would you imagine that this whole build, not yet, I think in a couple minutes time, yeah, we're getting there. The whole build actually got deleted because The Sims 4 crashed on me, and when I went back in, the whole build was gone. So luckily I had a screen recording of it, so I was able to go back in and recreate it. So I've actually built this twice, so I know it very, very well. I added in a little water bowl in the kitchen because I thought it was quite cute. I think it's funny because they're werewolves. I mean, maybe they drink it from it themselves, or maybe they have a little pet dog, which could be quite cute. Maybe they're training him up to be a werewolf. I don't know. So I'm going in with all the werewolf themed bits. It's kind of inspired off of a build I did a couple weeks ago of the townhouses. One of them was really run down, and I kind of based the furnishing off of that build because I just liked it so much, and I hadn't done anything werewolf themed, and I'm basically using all of the bits from the werewolf kit, so I thought it was quite apt. Going in with this fireplace because it's perfect for that sort of 2-tile, actually I think it's a 1-tile fireplace, which is even better. You can just squeeze it in so they actually have a fireplace. I think it's really cute. I added some tiles to make a bit of a border between the kitchen and the living space. And I'm going in and doing the dining area. I didn't know if I was actually going to be able to fit a dining table in this area, but I managed to make it work using that werewolf's dining table and the chairs, because I just think they're perfect. And where else are you actually going to use them other than a werewolf house, or like maybe an art studio, because they look a bit messy. I added in some factory parts, I don't know, like cogs and wheels and shit, like under the stairs, to make it just look like it's an old warehouse or an old factory that's being used as a werewolf's home now. So I go in, I'm starting to lay out the floor plan. A bit annoying with that bathroom because, as you can see, it like cuts into the brickwork, but from the outside you actually can't see that there's a wall going through the window. It just adds that glitchy shadow in the corner of the room, which is a bit frustrating, but if I'm going to ignore it, I think you should ignore it too. So I go in and I'm doing, yeah, like I said, I really wanted to do 2 bedrooms, even though I haven't really left myself enough space, but I really wanted to do 2 bedrooms. So that's what I've gone with. I've tried to utilise the space as much as possible. So in this house, we've got a teen or a kid's room and then a main bedroom for the werewolf parents. So I'm going to go in and do the kids' room now, I believe. So I chose this werewolf bed because it's perfect. I actually really like it as well. So I squeezed it into that little corner space, and I think it is still usable. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it is usable when the end is sticking in a corner. Not too sure. Added in that bookshelf to fill in that space, and I don't think that is accessible by your Sims, but it was just more so for decorations. So if you do want an accessible one, you can always put one in the hallway. Added in that super cute moon lamp on the bedside table, and I put in some little posters like it was a teen's room, and they've got their favourite wolf actors on the wall. And that little fluffy rug from university, I think it is. It's such a cute little rug, and I think it works really well with all the colours we've got in this room, sort of dark and deep colours. Adding in that desk and the matching chair from downstairs. Well, I copied it from downstairs. It's not the same one as downstairs, but you know what I mean. Moving on to the main bedroom. It's such a shame we don't have the werewolf single bed in a double form. Like, why don't we have that? It would have been perfect, but I tried to choose a bed that was as similar to that kind of style as possible. It's not really, but it's kind of the best that I could do. I went in to fill in the space with a dresser because I realised the kids' room doesn't actually have a dresser. So I thought I should probably put one somewhere. And all of the 1-tile sort of smaller dresses just weren't working for the space. I couldn't find one that looked okay. So I ended up actually finding these trunks, which are from the Werewolf kit, and I thought they were just perfect. So I popped that in the hallway, so maybe it's like a communal dresser. Everyone puts their clothes in there. Do werewolves really wear clothes? So yeah, it doesn't even really matter. So they just share the trunks in the hallway to put their ripped up trousers in. Okay, so I'm just adding in some decorative pieces. I haven't really gone in with a lot of clutter in this house, which is unlike me, but I have gone in with a few decorative pieces like wall art, plants, but yeah, not as near, nowhere near as much clutter as I usually do in quote-unquote normal builds. So I don't think the werewolves really need like mugs or, you know, different bits and bobs hanging from different places. So, but they do need a rug, obviously, so I've put in a mirror and a rug for them. And then this awkward space at the end of the bed was really sort of jarring, and I didn't like that you could just see the corner of the rug running alongside the bed, so I wanted to fill it with a end table, just like a skinny sort of bench or something. So that's the one I went with. Obviously it's not usable, the drawers aren't accessible, but it does fill the space like I wanted it to. And I was able to put those werewolf collectibles, not that shelf because that shelf was ginormous, but I put some collectibles on that little surface. And then moving out, where am I going? Oh yes, I'm just going through and putting all those factory lights in, back downstairs, and adding, what are they, like floor decorations? I don't know, some of the werewolf scratches and marks and cracks in the floor. And adding in some wall decorations. I do a little collage over here. I found it weird to like try and hang sort of paintings and pictures on this wall because it's that like corrugated iron style. I found like you're not going to be nailing like wall art into the wall. It just didn't make sense to me, so I went for more of like posters and bits like that. So I'm just going in. I felt like under the table and chairs was really empty apart from the big crack that I put in the floor, so I did go for this tarp, just because it kind of seemed a bit more industrial and kind of like thrown together, so I went in with that just to fill in that space a little bit. Once again, adding all the lights in. And yeah, so now I'm just decorating this little patio area. What's it called? Balcony. Balcony area. So I've got the telescope from the Werewolves kit, and I've put these tyres, the little seats. So I thought maybe they could gather, like hang out, use the telescope, look at the moon, all sorts. Put in a mailbox and a bin. And then I sort of go out. Oh no, I don't. I found this cute little plushie of a werewolf, and I thought, oh my god, the kid has to have that. And then I put in a typewriter as well because, I don't know, that was old school, old fashioned, and I thought it fit in quite well. So I popped that on the desk so it's not just empty. I did forget to actually put something on the desk, so that's good. Going in, I put a doormat down for when they go out and they want to wipe their paws or whatever. And then I put these curtains in, like, I suppose they're like tarps as well, aren't they? Like, they're kind of just hung up around the place. But I actually really like the default green colour, so I went in with the green upstairs, and then I did the black version downstairs. Oh, and that blind to the left disappeared, but I did put that back in. So I'm going outside and I'm doing the exterior, doing some landscaping, which I really enjoyed. This part was probably like my favourite part of the build. I actually used a lot of the werewolf debug stuff, and oh my god, there are so many good pieces. Once again, my computer actually crashes in a minute. Well, not my computer, just the Sims. Bloody Sims. Crashed on me, so I didn't capture all of the landscaping that I was doing because everything just went wrong. But you will see in a minute. I do go back in and I show you sort of the final product, but I go in with so much debug. So just going in and showing you some of those trees are debug. They sort of came in like a little pack, like a set of them. Got the logs, like there's lots of chopped down trees and tyres, and those crates back there I really liked, and the wonky furniture. Just absolutely loved it. I had so much fun using all those debug bits. So I'm going to go in now and show the pictures. So here is the exterior, 2 different angles, aren't you lucky? And then we go in. So this is the view of the living room when you come through the door. Just all those pieces that look actually really cozy, a bit tattered, but I think it works really well. There's like the industrial sort of style kitchen and the dining area. I do like this build. If I were a werewolf, I'd be happy. This is the landing, the hallway upstairs, the main bedroom, and then the teens room or the kids room from 2 different angles. So I really like how cute and cozy that little room is. And then just the bathroom, really basic. I didn't think they needed a lot in their bathroom. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But thank you so much for watching if you have, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!